Monday Night Football. Here we go. ESPN. Ravens are now 2-43 the total at the Colts. Heavy money for Baltimore and the over. Indy opened the favorite, and the total was 40.5. 10 straight wins straight up in the preseason for Harbaugh. You gotta love that stat, and the fact with their quarterback rotation coming off the blowout win against the Rams. You got RG3 auditioning for a job. Jackson played well last time out. Flacco pissed off with all the Jackson comments. He played well last week. So a lot to like with the Ravens. And we'll see here with Reich. Although Reich didn't like, he apologized, basically saying too many fights here on practice.
Yeah. Let's start with 10-0 straight up. That's meaningful. This is the coach and John Harbaugh who legitimately cares about W's in August. Certainly when you look at the Ravens quarterback rotation with guys like Lamar Jackson coming in the second half, who's already shown signs, RG3, et cetera. It's a winning QB rotation for preseason. And you read the comments, I mean, you talked about that fight, and they were brawling in camp. These two teams had joint practices. Yeah, Frank Reich, I'm not very happy about that. I'm very disappointed in that. You know, we talk about that's not what Colts fans need out of this team. We're professional football players. We're not fighters. We're not in the MMA, blah, 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 blah. More with Reich. I was very disappointed, led to a sloppy practice, at least on offense. So I'm disappointed from that. We have to learn from that. Meanwhile, John Harbaugh is like, his quote, it's beautiful. It cracks me up. Is this a healthy obsession that we all have with fights and training camp practices? It's really nothing, much ado about nothing. It got broken up pretty quickly, and we're moving on. I mean, what happened? It started with a couple of guys getting locked up on a punt return. There's a handful of brawls, but I think Harbaugh's got it right. You're beating up each other for weeks on end. When you get a chance to beat up somebody else, it happens sometimes. In August, I would not put much into those brawls between these two teams. I don't think there's a lot of hate between the Colts and the Ravens right about now.
What are you hearing on Luck tonight? Whole half, most of the first quarter? What is kind of big here now that he missed all of last season? Want to get him some playing time?
Yeah, I mean, the Colts used all four of their quarterbacks against Seattle in week one. You know, Luck 6 of 9, 64 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once, so we did take a hit. Jacoby Brissett came in. He only threw for 35 yards on his 8 pass attempts. Philip Walker had 8. Brad Kaya had 4. So we have a legitimate situation here where neither coach has given us a whole lot of info about what they want to do with the starters tonight. They are expected to get more playing time in this ballgame than they did in week one, but neither coach has given us a whole lot of actual factual information that we can use for betting. One thing worth noting from an injury standpoint, the Ravens are really healthy right now. Compared to think about last year in training camp, what Baltimore looked like. They were banged up beyond belief. This year, basically the coaches have their pick of which second stringers and third stringers they want to use tonight. That's not the case for Indy. Indy's had a good handful of injuries in recent week amongst the young guys, and most noticeably, the offensive line has become a little bit thin in recent weeks with the injuries. That's a major concern for Indianapolis tonight. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the games.